Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Just jumped on here real quick. Had something on my mind. I wanted to share. Sun's not quite out. It's about 6 in the morning. I start work at 5, so that's normal. But I started work this morning, and I've been working for the last hour, and something's been on my mind, and for whatever reason, it kept jumping in my head. So I figured I'd jump out here and do a video, hoping it helps somebody. As you know, I mentor a few young men, just kind of some one-on-one mentoring and helping them achieve their goals and things like that. And I was meeting up with one of them yesterday, and we're doing just a checkup where we check on what his goals are and what he's done since the last meeting towards those goals. And to start that meeting off yesterday, he opened it up with asking me and just saying straight up, was like, you know, how do you stay positive and achieve your goals in a pandemic? And you know, here we are. We're in August now. You know, so you figure we wouldn't be talking about this, you know, at this point, but we still are. It's still affecting people with work and things like that. And in his case, he's one of them. He's laid off. You know, so it's a real question. So in that, I turned that around with the question and asked him, what are your goals again? And keep in mind, I know his goals. We've talked about them. They're written down. I got them wrote down. He has them written, but I wanted him to voice those. So tell me what are your goals again? And as he began to read them off, I asked him, you know, so let's remember why you started that, and not so much the speech and the concept we all know on what's your why. But again, I really wanted him to voice what his purpose was for setting those 3 goals that we're working towards. And when he started to, you know, once he read them off, I reminded him that, you know, we get in the habit of seeing the result of the goal and forget that in order to make it to that, in order to get that result, we have to, I won't say fall in love, but lack of better, I'm gonna say fall in love. We have to enjoy the process of reaching that goal. So he has 3 different goals, but if we take one of them, if we take that one goal, he has to figure out a way to enjoy the process of getting there. And I'll take that away and I'll say, you know, for me, when I used to box, when I used to be in the ring, people would always tell me, you know, how do you enjoy getting hit and all that good stuff? And I would tell you, for one, as a fighter, when I was in there, the goal was to not get hit. so every time I stepped in there, the plan was not to get hit anyway. But for me, what I enjoyed about boxing in the first place was standing there with someone face to face, even as we moved around, with the understanding that we both could only hit each other from the waist up, and, you know, from a very few places with 2 hands. So we both come in knowing each other's game plan. But the process of me figuring out what that fighter is going to do before he does it, or what he's going to do next, or getting hit when I made the wrong decision and adjusting and ultimately coming back to win that round, or to lose a round and start to figure it out and pick up and win the fight. It's the same here, you know. So I enjoyed that process. Getting hit in the face and getting over that was because I understood that was part of the process. There's going to be parts in there that I don't enjoy, but the process itself, getting through all that came with it. So I'm just sharing here that, you know, it is a tough time, and there's not really answers to how each one of us deal with a situation like this. Again, and I'm telling you about a guy who's laid off, so he has every reason to, you know, feel the pressure or the obstacles to get him down and to stop him. And the challenge there is to understand, you know, let's take that away. If he was an athlete, if we're not talking pandemic, because at the end, when we really address it in terms of goals, the pandemic is another obstacle. You know, if I'm an athlete and I was training to make the Olympic team and I injured my knee, that's an obstacle. That's the pandemic in terms of training to make that Olympic team. So that's the same thing. If I'm trying to lose weight, you know, and my workouts are going great, and then all of a sudden I injure my back, that's the obstacle. That's the pandemic in terms of my weight loss. So these obstacles were going to come anyway. It just came in a form this time that we aren't used to, and we haven't experienced in our lifetime. But People who achieve goals have always overcome obstacles. So again, challenge yourself to see this as, yes, not to say, oh, it's no big deal, it's no problem. It's a real problem, but you have to take the mindset of attacking this like you would any other obstacle, and step back and figure out, you know, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it. I'm gonna enjoy the process of getting there, even with the pieces of it that I kind of hate, you know, right? And then get there. So challenge yourself, you know, remind yourself that, yes, this is a big deal. Yes, this is a problem. Don't act like, oh, it's no big deal, because your mind knows. So you can't fool yourself and be like, hey, it's no big deal, it's just a pandemic. Your mind knows that you're still thinking about it. So don't try to trick yourself, because you can't. But admit that it is a problem, admit that it is a concern, but you'll overcome this just like you would any other obstacle. So I hope this helps somebody, because it's been on my mind all day. So I felt I needed to put this in a video or something and post it somewhere. But anyway, have a great week, or it's Thursday. Have a great rest of your week, and hey, keep killing it. All right, next time, Safety Sam. All right.